Morning, everybody. Just a sound check for those of you joining in. Thank you for joining. I'm looking forward to a great event. So just make sure the volume is set to the right levels and they can hear us. We're admitting lots of people into the session and we'll work here in a few minutes' time. Thanks a lot. Just a sound check again, everybody joining. Great seeing all the people online. Thank you for coming into the session. We will be with you in a few minutes' time. Good morning to all the good people. Thank you for joining. We've been looking forward for quite some time hosting this event at the Transport Forum, and it's great seeing everybody online. We still have making a lot of people into the session, so obviously a lot of people will still join. But just a little bit of housekeeping while we're still admitting people. I don't think we need to educate you anymore on virtual events. We now got quite used to this. But please remember to keep yourselves on mute. It's one of my jobs here to keep people on mute. People might ask why. Zoom has got two configurations. You can either run the session as a webinar, or you can run it as a meeting. And when you do a webinar, it's much more sort of professional because only the panelists can share the screens and all that type of stuff. But it's very impersonal. We decided as Transport Forum to run our meetings as meetings. In other words, everybody is allowed to unmute yourself, talk, share screen, all that type of stuff. But obviously, we need some discipline from ourselves to keep yourself on mute. And that's the way we do. So, right. That's about Zoom. In terms of the screen, you can have a look at the bottom of the screen. You can see there's participants. You can click on participants. You should see the other people in the event as we go along. You can even mouse over yourself, your own name. You can rename yourself due to the device name is showing or something like that. You can put in your company's name. You're welcome. Also, at the bottom of the screen, there's a chat room. You can use the chat room to network. Please keep the focus on this event, but you're welcome to share contact details and so on and say good morning to everybody. You're most welcome to do that, and that's great. Yeah, so looking at our program for today, and we've got a very exciting program. Just get my screen sorted. Yeah. All right, so we're celebrating women in transport and business. It's the Women's Month, and that is our program. As you can see, we're having Women Economic Assembly. We've got Women of Unitrans. We've got Jonah Mcdonald, Social Enterprise, going to talk to us, and Visco Women in Business. We've got Easy Clear, Amy going to talk to us, and we've got Global Trade Solutions, Louise Bridget. So this is very exciting, going to listen to these ladies sharing their stories. And then also, we've got our Master of Ceremonies, Selan Slapu. She agreed to be our MC today. She's the Chief Executive Officer of the African Rail Industry Association. So, Marcella, thank you very much for being our MC today. We really appreciate your support. What we would like to announce, and I'm going to give recognition to our sponsors now, because as you might have noticed, the Transport Forum and all related content on the web is for free. So we obviously have to have somebody making this possible and paying for all of this. And so I would like to give recognition. But what is great is that there's actually going to be 5 prizes today that you can win. And 4 of those prizes are sponsored by the Transport Forum and the Transport Forum sponsors. And you can see there, 4 persons will be able to win 2 prizes. In other words, the Transport Forum branded power bank and a very nice little lantern you can use during load shedding or whatever. So what we're going to do is we're going to share more info on our sponsors and the alliances of the Transport Forum. You listen carefully. Afterwards, we're going to ask some questions. And the first person answering the question right in the chat room will be the winner of the prize. And the prize will be couriered to you. Obviously, we can only do this for local people. And we will announce the winners as we go along. So this is going to be great. And then also JC Auditors announced the prize they're going to hand out today. But Oliver and I will share more about that just now. So let's have a look. Alliances, formal industry alliances to the Transport Forum, we're very proud. So RFA, SAIPA, SABOA, ARIA, and SOLSA. And I'm going to quickly go into, all of them so that we can quickly have some more information in the background. So ARIA, I don't know, Michelle, if you want to tell us quickly a little bit more about ARIA.
Good morning. ARIA is an industry body. We are also an export council. We are only rail industry body recognized by government. We have relationships with the Railway Safety Regulator. We recently signed an MOU with Department of Transport, representing in an advisory position and to do a number of projects that will include our participating in the rail master plan and other areas that are required to make sure that policy is in the right place to ensure that the logistics sector remains the backbone of our economy. We are about transforming the industry. We are about transformation of the transformed industry. By that, I mean that within the railway sector, the sector should transform so that there is transformation within it, where women and youth-owned businesses can thrive and be presented with more opportunities. We are about revitalization of the sector. We know that we have gone through a bloodbath as railway businesses. We are here to ensure and advocate in ensuring that we revitalize the sector and position ourselves to manufacture rail rolling stock and provide services for the railways on the continent and beyond. We are about advocating for our members, but we don't strictly advocate only for our members. We advocate for the sector. We advocate for what is in the best interest of South Africa. And currently we are working on third-party access, and I am proud to be the leader in transforming this sector. And we want to ensure that we have a world infrastructure that crisscrosses the continent. That's one of the few ways that will ensure that intra-Africa trade does work. But in the introduction, Harry said that we are celebrating women. We are not celebrating women, we are celebrating ourselves. We don't need to be celebrated. We know that what we are capable of. We are queens, we are CEOs of our households, we are queens. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, our wise words, and thank you very much for your kind support of the Transport Forum. Really appreciate that. Right, the Road Freight Association. Thank you, Gavin.
Thanks very much, Harry. And as always, thanks very much for the opportunity to be involved with the forum. It really is both a privilege and an honor for us to be involved. In short, the Road Freight Association is a non-profit association. It is the largest representative organization of employers in the road freight transport sector, the largest association of truck affiliated members. It strives for what you see on the screen in general terms, but basically compliance is of a major issue. Once again, we are also involved with various departments, both in and around the formulation of legislation, give advice Our members are our main concern and our main focus, and we look at ensuring that to the best of our ability, their businesses remain sustainable. And given what's been happening in the country in the last couple of months, you can imagine that's been quite a hefty task. In short, without the RFA, I think many things would not be going as smoothly as we'd like them to be going. I think there's a lot of challenges out there in terms of ensuring that we meet the challenge. And one of those challenges is growing our SMMEs. The RFA membership database of truck transporters is 88% SMMEs, the future of our country. And obviously in there lie the futures and the possibilities and the potentials of many of our members who have women directors, women owners, and those women who are involved in keeping the roads going and keeping freight moving on the country and in the country and through the country. There are a number of people presenting today who are actually associate and affiliate members of the RFA, and we're very proud of the message that they will be putting out today. Thank you again, Harry, and everyone. I hope you have an informative webinar today and listen to those queens of our country, those success stories who make each and every one of us so proud. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Gavin. We're proud being associated with the RFA as well. Thank you very much for your alliance. We really appreciate that. South African Bus Operators Association. I don't know if there's somebody from SABOA want to say a few words. Bus and coach industry. We represent the bus and coach industry. You can see they've already been formed in 1980. As the government is setting up the SABOA, and they represent about 7% of the public transport bus and coach fleet. So thank you very much, SABOA, for your alliance. South African Association of Freight Forwarders. What I do is, if nobody from the organization is there to say something, then I say a few words. But we're proud being associated with SAF, established in 1921 already, National Association with members throughout the Republic of South Africa. And it makes a major contribution to facilitating trade within South Africa. Member companies manage over 80% of South Africa's international trade. Thank you, SAF. South African Express Parcel Association, SAPA. So we presented a body, Voice of the Express Delivery Industry in South Africa, comprises of member companies engaged in express freight and courier industry. So service providers throughout the express and supply chain. Thank you very much, SAPA. CILSA, Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, so leading international professional body for everyone who works within supply chain, logistics and transport. Work a network of national councils and sections over 30 countries. So services the interest of over 30,000 members. Thank you very much, also. Right, we also blessed in being associated with big media houses for many years already, and we're going to quickly have a look at them. So Freight News, somebody from Freight News perhaps. Also been it's part of the Now Media Group, previously also known as Freight and Trading Weekly. Now this is all about logistics news, ladies and gents, and you need to subscribe to these magazines and online magazines, otherwise you're losing out big time. Freight News is actually part of the Transport Forum since inception more than 15 years ago. So thank you very much, Freight News. We've got Railways Africa magazine. It's Philippa Dean heading up the African Continent Specialist Trade Technical Business to Business online publication, covering all aspects of the rail sector. Thank you very much, Railways Africa. And then Engineering News, Prima Media's Engineering News, and they usually share with us a video we can show you guys. And I'm just going to quickly call up the video. I would like to show you the weekly update.
Hello and welcome to the roundup of this week's edition of the Engineering News and Mining Weekly magazine, published on Friday, 5 August 2022. In this week's cover article, Engineering News and Mining Weekly correspondent Rebecca Campbell writes that Southern Africa lags in the adoption of sustainable aviation fuel, despite great potential. At a recent international air show, US-based global major aerospace group Boeing unveiled a new tool to model data, which was created to map the ways that the global commercial aviation sector could reach the international target of having net zero carbon emissions by 2050. The Engineering News features focus on construction materials and equipment, where a strategy outlines the constructive value of wood, and commercial and industrial property, where the sector pursues recovery amid various challenges. The Mining Weekly features focus on valves, where local manufacturers are feeling the pressure as payment delays continue, and water purification and treatment, where sensible water management is more evident at mines. This week's business leader is Yamkela Makupula, CEO of the South African Diamond Producers Organization. And as this week's cartoon shows, the president's plan to tackle load shedding is focused mainly on utility-scale solutions, but also includes some space for micro-level action, mostly in the form of rooftop solar. We hope you enjoy this week's edition of Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly. Be sure to subscribe to the magazine that offers you in-depth news about developments in the real economy by emailing subscriptions@engineeringnews.co.za. Happy reading and see you next time.
Thank you very much, Engineering News. Apologies for that little recap there. Ladies and gents, let's continue. All right, so let's have a look at our sponsors of the Transport Forum. And we do have a platinum sponsor, C-Track. I don't know if there's somebody from C-Track. Usually we do the hard work. It's a leading global software as a service provider and big data company for vehicle tracking, fleet management, and insurance telematics solutions. So it's making, they're talking about always visible and so important in today's world to be visible and obviously be protected. So thank you very much, C-Track, for your platinum sponsorship. And they've been supporting the transport also from inception 15 years ago. Thank you very much, C-Track. University of Johannesburg, the Department of Transport and Supply Chain Management. They've also got the Institute for Transport and Logistics Study, also been part since the inception. Prof. Jackie Walkers, Prof. Naidu Pizza, Prof. Rosewood, a lot of them, also a lot of mentoring to myself. Thank you very much for your gold sponsorship. All right, Beta Cargo. Beta Cargo, it's a leading cargo airline providing express airport-to-airport solutions and related services to the courier and express logistics industry. Thank you, Beta Cargo, for your gold sponsorship. Global Trade Solution. I don't know if there's somebody from GTS want to say a few words. These will come online just now, but they offer Customs Connect and consulting services. You can see already founded in 1999, delivers innovative technology and consulting services to the international trade and supply chain community. Thank you very much, GTS, for your gold. All right, and then we've got Ticket Pro Travel. This is an exciting solution, also co-sponsor with the Transport Forum. It's an online booking tool for all your corporate travel needs. You can see they're saying there's no hidden fees, just good business, straightforward, fair pricing, ladies and gents. And it's I'm very confident. You can see cutting-edge innovation, business garden, protecting you in your booking process, Traveler Protector, and it's a one-stop shop for your corporate travel bookings. Obviously, you can pick up all the links for these organizations on the Transport Forum's website. All right, then we've got Ticket Pro Smart Tab. It's a system that includes key features like comprehensive route management, flexible passenger payment methods, flexible route and fare product setup, shift and dispatch management, cashier system inspection tools, and comprehensive management information system reports. Smart Tab also goes sponsor of the Transport Forum and running many systems in the bus industry in South Africa. Thank you very much, Mr. Pro Smart Tab. JC Auditors, I'd like to hand you over to Mr. Oliver Naidu. Thank you, Oliver.
Thank you very much, Harry. Can you permit me to share my screen, perhaps?
There you go.
Thank you. Great. Yeah, good morning, everybody. And thanks, Harry, for the opportunity again, just to tell you a bit about what we do. I'm assuming you can see the screen?
Yes.
Great. So turn on my video.
Yes, you
yeah,
can.
so that's me. Okay, great. So essentially, JC Auditors are a certification body that offers compliance solutions across a wide range of standards. And for some reason, the slide's not moved. Oh, there we go. So we our head office is in Padayagi, and we've got satellite offices in Johannesburg. Oh, that's better. Johannesburg and in the Western Cape. And we are a 100% South African company. Our certifications are recognized globally, and we're a level 1 BE company with a team of auditors that are professionals that have been there, done that, and we have a very unique customer-focused, forward-thinking approach, which is what we believe sets us apart in the market. We offer a number of different standards. Our TMS is the one that I think a number of us are quite familiar with. In addition to that core offering, we also cover a host of ISO standards, 9,000, 14,000 environmental management, 45,000 for occupational health and safety, 22,000, which is for food safety. So even if you're transporting food, we can assist you with certifying that your transport operation is compliant with the cold chain even. 39,001 is a road traffic safety standard that makes requirements of various entities that interact with the road network specifically to reduce crashes and minimize the impacts thereof. We're one of the few companies to be listed on the IAF website. So it's a global body that provides the licenses, so to speak, for bodies, and we're very proud of that achievement. We offer a number of different associated services to our core offering of certifications, so training courses, health and safety compliance, consulting work, and quite a few specialist services, such as SQAS, supplier audits, POPI Act verification, etc. We're very, I think, proud and grateful for working to work with some of the leading companies in the country. And yeah, we hope to continue long relationships with them, and obviously welcome new inquiries. So if you have any certification needs, we'd really love to hear from you on any of our contact details. But now for the important stuff, Harry. It is Women's Month, and JC Auditors and our team are committed to celebrate the women, the amazing women that we work with, and the amazing women in our country. So we're giving away a gift voucher, a Sorbet gift voucher for 1,000 Rand. And all you have to do is simply like our Facebook page or LinkedIn, preferably LinkedIn. That seems to be the way forward nowadays. So if you could go onto either of those platforms, like our page, but please like the latest post just so we know who you are. And the last thing is to answer a simple question: which is the only company in Africa to offer all of the following ISO standards: RTMS, 9,000, 14, 45, 39, 22, 13485, and 3834. So that's it. So Harry, thank you very much. And just those details again. So it's Facebook. You can search JC Auditors on Facebook or LinkedIn. And yes, one more thing. To the winner, I'm not sure who she is, but if you could please take a photograph of your sorbet treatment, preferably looking a bit excited, and send it to us, we'd be most appreciative. Thank you very much, and looking forward to the day's session. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Oliver, and thank you for your support, and thank you for this prize. We really appreciate it. Right, ladies and gents, the next gold sponsor transport forum is BISCO. I don't know if somebody wants to say a few words about BISCO.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Harry. Good morning. My name is Leanne Saunders from BISCO. BISCO is a skills development organization that offers training in supply chain and logistics. Our offering starts at NQF level 3, anything within the warehouse space, operations, distribution, and in logistics as well, up to NQF level 5. We are proud that we have affiliation and endorsement with SAPIX and also with the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport in South Africa. For any inquiries, you're welcome to contact us via email on inquiries@bisco.co.za. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leanne, and thank you, BISCO, for your kind support. Yeah, so developing skills for the supply chain and internationally accredited courses. Great for having them on board. Thank you very much. Right, Zutari, somebody from Zutari. Consulting engineers of note, ladies and gents, also supporting the Transport Forum for many years as a gold sponsor, previously known as Oricon. Thank you very much for your kind support. Unitrans.
Morning, Harry. Morning, everyone. I'm not going to say too many words because we will be chatting to you later today, but just to say that we are really proud to be a gold sponsor of the Transport Forum, and as a leading provider of integrated operational services in the logistics and transportation space, we really believe in uplifting our women and increasing participation, female participation in our sector. And we really look forward to sharing some of our stories of some of our fearless freight females later this morning with you. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you, Carly. We're so proud being associated with the Unitrans brand. Thank you very much for your gold sponsorship. Standard Bank, over 159 years actually now of experience. They believe that dreams matter and that together we can make them a reality. Kathy Bell from Standard Bank, also closely involved with the road transport management system. They've been supporting this transport forum for many years. Thank you very much, Standard Bank. Cuba is part of the IC Mobility Group, which enables public and private transport to move into the digital era. It's journey planning, smart ticketing, streamlining electronic payment, shaping the digital transformation of the mobility sector. Thank you very much, Cuba, for your kind gold sponsorship. EasyClear, somebody from EasyClear perhaps.
Morning, Harry. There we go. Sorry.
Michael.
Morning, Harry. Thank you. Yes, EasyClear is, I'd like to think, one of the leading software service providers for the customs clearing, freight forwarding, and supply chain industry, with software solutions offered in a software as a service or web-based platform, allowing our clients to connect from anywhere in the world, literally, and over the most recent COVID times from home, to continue work and to continue to keep freight moving. Harry, I just wanted to say also that it's an honor to participate with the Transport Forum as both a sponsor and in this case, a participant in today's forum. It's great to be introducing one of our leading women to a growing team of women at EasyClear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much for your gold sponsorship. And we're looking forward to listening to Zeni a little bit later on. Thank you very much. Abunya Capital, I don't know if Vuji want to say a few words about Abunya. the public transport knowledge hub, and bespoke taxi industry insights, integrated public transport network advisory, public transport thought leadership. We see the Majola leading this group, and should you obviously need to know more about the taxi industry, especially, you're welcome to contact the group. So there are our sponsors, ladies and gents, and our associates. And I think we can give them a big hand for their kind support in making this transport forum and initiative possible. I just want to refresh your minds about our business directory. It's been outsourced to Olga Mashilu from Berlin Bondley Consultant. It's only 450 rand a year to get your company listed on this popular business directory. And everybody is telling us that they're getting good exposure to this well-capitalized business directory. So kindly contact Olga, and Olga will be able to help you to get listed. So the presentations of the Transport Forum over the past 15 years all been uploaded to the transportforum.com website, and you can download all of them for free. And it's a very strong knowledge base, over 900 presentations you can actually download. So you need to log in on the Transport that website. You need to log in. Should you not have a profile yet, then you click on sign up and create your own little profile. On the website, you go to events and you select downloads. Once you've selected downloads, that's now obviously after you've logged in. Then you get a little search engine. You can either type in something, a title or a description like the logistics or a person's surname, and you hit search, and it will search through all those 900 presentations and bring the relevant information up for you, which you can download. Or a category, you can select the date, and it will bring up all the presentations presented that day, obviously those that's been made available. So enjoy and downloading the content that would help you about the new year. So now we're back to our program for today, and I would like to hand over to our MC of today. But before I do that, I just want to find out our first presenter, Violet. Is she already online on the session? Violet, you just confirm when you're online?
Yes, I am.
There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you, Violet. All right, so I would like to hand over to our MC for today, Nisela Mflapus. She's the Chief Executive Officer of the African Rail Industry Association, and she's going to take us further through the program and act as MC. Thank you very much, Nisela.
Good morning and happy Women's Month. To introduce myself, other than the name that I was given by my parents, I am a railroad woman. I am an integral part, an essential part of the great machine that is transportation. Because of me and my fellow railroad men and women, railways must be the backbone of the South African economy. I am a railroad woman. It is said that successful female leaders and entrepreneurs are always passionate about what they do, because we tend to create business around the things that we enjoy. And hence, the women that you will see today, you will simply identify the qualities that I will go through later on, and that highlights why they are presenting today, why they are important to us as women in transport, and women in general. All women, as far as I'm concerned, are leaders, are CEOs in their own household. Without further ado, welcome Her Royal Highness Queen Violet Lupuwana. Violet, I saw another name. I wanted the African name, Tutwane. If I love African names because there is a story behind our names. For an example, I am Nisela. Nisela means tails, I'm last born in my family, but tails in general, they give direction, they give stability, and that's what I do in every corner where I land up in. In short, Her Royal Highness has quite a comprehensive resume, and I found it very difficult to read through it. I was actually quite inspired and felt that I need to do more. Tutwane, Queen Tutwane, is an African entrepreneur, a business executive, and a blessed and highly favored child of God. So she's God's favorite child. She's an industrial engineer with over a decade of professional engineering experience. She's an industrial engineer. She a project manager. She has been in lean manufacturing engineer with continuous improvement specialist. She is the former chairperson of the first Black, female, and youngest chairperson of the board of Uviwe. She is a former member of the advisory committee of the engineering faculty of Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University. She is an international qualified life coach and business coach and mentor. I think I'm about to get a mentor. I'm putting up my hand as a mentee. She's passionate about skills development and capacity building of entrepreneurs, women and youth of the continent. She's an award-winning entrepreneur and was a third runner-up at the SAB Kickstart competition nationally in 2018. She is the sole owner and founder of Chumile Holdings. She is a wife, happily married, married to Lucanyo Lupuana. My husband will object to me mentioning his name. And they are blessed with 3 beautiful children. She loves to travel the world and get to meet people, get transformed and inspired to innovate when she comes back home and on the ground. She's an inspiration to others, and having gone through her resume, I am inspired. Queen, take away. The Queen is muted.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. I thought I'd unmuted. I just want to share my presentation. Okay, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Violet Lupuana, and as said, I'm an African woman, first of all. I am a child of God. I'm a woman in transport and all that has been mentioned. I'm here representing Wikona because I'm here in my capacity as the chairperson of transport and logistics within Wikona. And I just want to introduce Wikona to those of you who may not know about our initiative or our organization. So Wikona, which stands for Women Economic Assembly, was conceptualized. So it was conceptualized out of the mandate emerging from the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence and Femicide through Pillar 5, which is the economic empowerment. Wikona is driven explicitly by outcome 5.1 of the economic pillar of the GBVF, which states that there should be an accelerated initiative that addresses women's unequal economic and social position through access to government and private sector procurement, through creating employment, through housing, through access to land, financial resources, and other income-generating initiatives. Wikona is a multi-stakeholder program that includes the corporate sector, it includes the civil society, the public sector, us women-owned companies, and it is a strategic project within the Office of the Presidency. It's aimed at advocating for equal economic participation of women in the economy through focusing on industry supply chains to curb the surge of gender-based violence and femicide. Our structure includes, we have 2 co-chairs. One of them representing the private sector is Mamfuti Mtoba. And then we also have another co-chair, is Namhlamniki, who drives the public sector mandate for the Women Economic Assembly, and she sits in the Office of the Presidency. The mandate of this collaborative platform is to actively push for achievement of a minimum of 40% procurement targeted to women-owned businesses through sector, supply chain, and both in public and in private sector. So what we are about as WeCorner is to ensure that women, as we all know that our world, not even our country, just is plagued with a problem of gender-based violence and femicide. That is now the new, or probably the old pandemic that has just been amplified. And so now it is an initiative that was launched last year by the Office of the President and His Excellency President Ramaphosa, and just with the aim of getting us together as a private sector, as business and government, to work towards economic empowerment of the women. Because we found that the main reason why these women are abused in their relationships, one of the biggest reasons is that they are not economically active participants, or they're financially dependent on these partners who are the ones that are abusing them. So that is why we are here as WeCorner. But our main objective is to ensure that both private and public sector economically empower women, and particularly women in business. And so the organization found it fit, and you'll hear my story, they found it fit to appoint me to lead the transport and logistics sector, being a woman who is already in the transport business and who's made her strides within the transport business. So I'll go back to just introduce myself. I'm an industrial engineer who has over 10 years experience. And then 10 years ago, I decided to enter the journey of entrepreneurship. And today I run multi-million rand transport company, both in the passenger transport, which is the taxi industry. And then I also ventured into the road freight. I saw that there's an association I need to become a member of who presented this morning. Okay, so Khumile Holdings. In 2012, we started off as a training and consulting company, because at that point, what I had was my ability, my engineering skills, the project that I had. So I had my IP, and I thought the easy market to enter would be a space where I can offer my expertise as an engineer. And then in 2014, as I went along in business, then there was an opportunity presented itself for me to go into the transport sector. And that's where in 2014, I started Khumile Transport Services with only one taxi, which is the one that I have in front of us. And until today, where I have 42 taxis. Our company is based in the Eastern Cape, and we have an office in Bryanston as well, but the headquarters is in the Eastern Cape. So we led the way to Transnet National Ports Authority to show them that Gqeberha is worth being or holding headquarters. And so now we employ a staff complement of over 50 people, most of them being young people. So we are solving the social ill of youth unemployment. Most of our employees or drivers are youngsters, young men from the township and also from the rural areas. And then we service various industries. We service from the manufacturing industries, we service FMCG industries, we service the automotive industry, because being based here in the Eastern Cape, those are most of our clients. And then in the Johannesburg and Cape Town area, then we diversified over the years into shuttle and tours, and where we hold a contract with GCIS, where we are the chauffeur service provider, where we have a national contract with them, where we take the officials as they travel to the different cities, and then we receive them and transport them. And then that was in 2016, we ventured into shuttle and tours. So where we were approached by Tokosan, who needed staff transport at the time. And then now, because we had already grown on our market share in terms of offering staff transport, and the market had now known about us within the Eastern Cape. And so now we got an opportunity to service Garden Court, and then later on just with staff transport, which is our main business. And then later on, we diversified we started to do the shuttle services because of the good service that we provided them. And then in 2019, we signed up our first international hotel, which is the Radisson Blu. So we are also a shuttle service provider to the Radisson Blu. We are a shuttle service provider to the PE Hotel Group. We're a shuttle service provider to Sokosan, and also to the corporates that we service. Right now in our basket of customers, we have customers like the SAB, we have Coca-Cola, we have Herreyes in the automotive, we have Schaeffler also in the automotive, and a lot more that are based here in the Eastern Cape. And then going into trucking or road freight has always been a dream for us. And as most of you will know that, or most of you who are entrepreneurs and who are in particular in the trucking business will know that going into trucking, it's a chicken and egg situation, because now when you go into the market, you want an opportunity to service them. They're going to ask for papers for the trucks. And then when you go to the bank to ask for the money to buy the trucks, they want the contract. So we were stuck in that position as a challenge to say, but then how do we penetrate into the trucking industry, seeing that, it's a chicken and egg situation. So blessedly for us, our business did very well because during COVID, because we were approached by our customers said, Violet, there's what we call an essential service certificate that you need to get with CIPC. So go get that because we're going to need you during this uncertain time. So watching our company being acknowledged by these big blue chip companies who depended on our service during a critical time like COVID, during a global pandemic, because as I stated in most of my talk, that the magnitude of the pandemic was not even a Gqeberha pandemic. It wasn't an Eastern Cape, it wasn't a Gauteng, but it was a global pandemic. When we saw how much the industry depended or showed faith in our services, then for me, it was confirmation that indeed we have built a brand. So on the 18th of this month, which is next week, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be celebrating 10 years as a business. We are a BEE level 1 company that is 100% owned by myself. I'm the only director of the company. And that also has really played in our favor, because now we know how untransformed our industry is as transport and logistics. So for the procurement people who may be watching this and need a Black-owned service provider, we are available. Our contact details will be there at the end of my presentation. And so these are just a couple of my fleets. This is the shuttle and tours fleet and my drivers. And there's different services that we offer under shuttle and tours. We do from your tour family tours, we do hotel shuttles, we do corporate services. We even, some of the corporates started using us for a party and events busing, for park and ride services. We do safari, we do cultural and adventure tours. And then for the clients that started off as staff transport, they started now using us as the shuttle service provider, and then they started making use of chauffeur services as well. And so now in 2019, after signing up with the Radisson Blu, then we were later given the challenge to host the travel desk in the Radisson Blu hotel, which is the pictures that you see in front of you. So from just being taxi industry, the market, we put our ears on the ground, and the market told us that they wanted us to go into travel and tourism or transport and tourism, and then later on into managing concierge desks. And so these are some of the projects that we did. We were the official shuttle service provider at the World Choir Games, the first that we had in Africa, that were held in Tshwane in 2018. And then one of our other accolades is being a Tsogosan Group entrepreneur, which is one of the platforms that helped us and developed us in terms of our expertise within the tourism industry. And then we're also a shuttle service provider and a partner to UN Women. And we are the only shuttle service provider that does their transportation. And then in 2020, as mentioned, we launched our freight business because of the excess revenue that we made because of the favorable conditions for our business being an essential service provider. So we were able to raise enough capital to go buy our first truck. And right now we have a fleet of 12 trucks in a space of less than 2 years of being within the freight and road freight industry. So these are just a couple of the trucks that we have. And the work that we do. And then in COVID as well, just to show that besides growing profits, but we're also big on social impact. So we don't regard ourselves as a small business and think we won't be able to have impact. So what we did here, we asked our drivers to identify families who are in need in their communities. And together with our drivers and our staff, we went about handing out food parcels within the Eastern Cape area, which is where our main base is. And then most of you may have heard that at the Eastern Cape, we had a problem with clean linen. So one of the hospitals reached out to our company to ask that we buy them washing machines so that they can address the problem, which is something that we also did during COVID time. And these are just some of our customers that we've been servicing, and we're still servicing since we've begun until now. And then, so my message to entrepreneurs is basically, even as women, let's put ourselves out there. So for me, this was one of the biggest advice that I got as an entrepreneur, because as Black-owned women in business, yes, the market is ripe for us, but then the most painful thing that we hear is when procurement people like saying, we don't know where to find these entrepreneurs. So for me, I do a lot of putting ourselves out there as a company, going to roadshows, going to expos, writing proposals, because I understand that maybe then from them saying that it means that their pain is that they don't know where to find us. So that is why I like presenting myself to such opportunities, to approaching them and say, okay, I know that you struggle with finding us. So here I am. Here we are as Tumela Holdings. We're very reliable service providers, as you would have seen that some of the big companies like your SCBs, your Coca-Colas, your Herrerases, your Spar Group, your Scheiflers are service providers, use our services, whether in passenger transport and also in trucking services. So this is just pictures of myself and my team going to expos and just exposing ourselves to the market. And so our wish, Harry, is to go into aviation. Now we've ticked the taxi, we have ticked the road freight. Our dream is to go into aviation, to do full-on logistics from just road freight to the air freight, and then also going into warehousing. So if there are any investors who are watching, any people who are looking for enterprise development, maybe somebody within the aviation, I saw that Sis Marcella, you're in the rail. We'll have a chat and maybe we'll explore opportunities there. But this is just me putting my wish out there to the universe and to you all who are in the room present to say that's where we want to go next. And I think that's it from me. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this morning. Over to you, Marcel.
Thank you, Queen. So you need to wait for the Queen to give you permission to speak again. One of the things that I picked up from your presentation, and for me, it's there are things that we as women do automatically, but we don't find names for them. So I had picked up that when you had adopted around COVID, adopted a new norm, is that we're never satisfied with the status quo. We challenge the status quo. We are not overwhelmed with challenges and never ending to-do list. We always find a solution where there is a problem. And that's what I picked up from you, my beautiful Queen. When you said you want to go into aviation, I immediately wrote down that, no, please, you must go into rail, because we are at a historical stage where there is transformation that is taking place in the railway sector. And when you touch on the COVID, on the food packages, it really spoke to who I am, that we care about the people. We don't only look at ourselves, but we see the bigger picture. And as you said, that equality is important. And I love that you use this opportunity to advertise your business, to say, this is what I do, this is what I'm capable of, without any doubt. Anyone that is on this platform know today that this Queen is a queen amongst queens. Thank you. And I would like to move on to our next presenter, Melanie Naidu Padayagi. And I can pronounce Padayagi properly because I have one of the most beautiful daughters, her name is Padayagi. She is from Unitrans, and she's the head of people development and culture. That should be the easiest job in the world to do as a female. She's a robust transformational leader with 16 years experience in developing people, processes, and systems to achieve business strategy. She started off in the hospitality sector before expanding over facets of transportation, from aviation to road freight and associated supply chain. We look forward into welcoming you into the railway sector too. Her passion centered on finding creative and integrated learning solutions for business challenges, as well as performance improvement through programs that are intrinsically linked to the employees. She has made leadership self-improvement a constant hobby, with influencing more women to climb the ranks in technical field. Small things life sweet for Melanie, such as pancakes, good for you. I think my son would be your best friend, with her family on Saturday mornings, and knowing each day that she has made a big difference by promoting safer roads as well as uplifting women and therefore communities through education. Welcome, Melanie. Please take it away, Queen.
Thank you
Michelle,
so
thank you
much.
very much. Yeah, sorry for interrupting you guys. I forgot to mention that we're going to have Carly Penter to quickly say a few words on behalf of Unitrans before the ladies would talk. Marcella, my sincere apologies. I forgot to mention that to you. So Carly, if you can just quickly talk before Melanie. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harry, and thank you, Marcella. And you can hear why I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking this morning, because I have this bit of a husky voice as a result of a cold. So I just wanted to use the opportunity this morning to introduce all of our wonderful women of Unitrans to all of you. And before I do, I just wanted to say to Violet, we are humbled, and wow, I'm just so inspired. What a phenomenal story. We are so happy to hear about these success stories. And really what we want to do today from a Unitrans perspective is just share some of the stories from our own ladies. As you know, the supply chain industry is so vast and there's so many different areas that you can get involved in. And so we thought the best way to do that is to share some of our own stories and to just introduce you to some of our who we call our fearless freight females in our organization. So we've got Kyle just driving the slides in the background because there's a few of us, so he's going to be sort of this going through the slides for us. So Kyle, if you go to the first one, I just wanted to introduce Unitrans as an organization and just position what we wanted to also talk about today is really to say that as an organization, Unitrans really believe in creating a culture of being seen, heard, appreciated, and understood. And you'll hear that coming through in each one of the stories today. I myself have been with the business since 2017, and it has really been a journey for me in terms of the culture shift, in terms of diversity and inclusion. And we really are so appreciative of our leadership, our CEO, Terry Bantock, who really believes in promoting and empowering and enabling women in our sector and creating that sense of belonging. And we really believe in diversity and inclusion, and we have a lot of programs and skills development programs within our business that Melanie will also touch on later in this presentation, and she'll share a bit about what we are doing as a business, because we really also believe in the power of doing, not just talking, but doing something about creating transformation and building up women in our business. And so the reality is that we have a lot of women in our organization, and you'll hear a lot from them today, but we are still outnumbered 5-1 in our organization. And I'm sure that out there in the sector, that number is even higher. So we really want to promote participation. And this morning, we hope that some of these stories will inspire you. I am truly inspired by each one of these ladies that you'll listen to this morning. I've been privileged to work with each one of them in a different capacity. And I'm going to actually just hand over to them to share their stories with you, and then I'll just sum up again at the end. So I'm going to hand over to Nokukanya, and she's going to share with you her journey and her story.
Thank you, Carl.
Nokukanya. Nokukanya is a name that you bring light into the room. Kindly, as a queen that brings light, take it away. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It is an honor to be part of the event today. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. As introduced, my name is Nokukanya Mthembu. I was born and matriculated in KwaMaphumulo. It is a village that is in the northern coast of KwaZulu-Natal. For further education, I completed my BCom degree in supply chain management with the University of KwaZulu-Natal. I started my journey in logistics in 2011 with my previous employer. I'm currently working for Unitrans as a contract manager. My role is to oversee the warehousing and the distribution side of the business. As we progress to the next slide, I would like to take you through to some of the highlights of my career. I will start with the career path, which is something that I am very proud of when I look back. From humble beginnings, as I mentioned before, I started my career in 2011 with my previous employer as a graduate trainee, whereas they continued to take me on permanent basis as a fleet supervisor, and I was also promoted to be the fleet planner. I started my journey with Unitrans in 2014, and it's been an amazing journey. Like Carl mentioned, at Unitrans, all employees are heard, seen, appreciated, and understood. So I started as a contract supervisor. It is a petroleum business unit. We were dealing with gas. And then I continued to be still within the petroleum business unit, but I was promoted in 2018 as a assistant contract manager. Now I was within the warehousing and the distribution side, where I'm currently based. So I also continued with my studies in 2016, and I graduated in 2017 in the postgraduate diploma in business management. In 2020, I was nominated to participate in an international leadership development program, which is sponsored by Tita. This was a very amazing journey for me. I was very lucky to meet phenomenal people where they come from different companies. I was lucky to be selected as one of the 15 delegates that partake in that program for that year. In this program, I learned a lot about the business, the pillars that supports the business. So in a financial perspective, management of cost, which actually boosted and shaped my leadership skills. So part of the things that I'm proud of that I learned from this program is to lead people with the humane leadership. So it's very important for us to create a humane orientated environment. So as part of that, I collaborated with one of my colleagues that you will hear, Kuntani. So we collaborated together, and then we implemented two programs. One of it is an appreciation program for the office staff, whereby we boost each other's morale by selecting a day. On that day, we will write anything that you appreciate about your colleague, and we collect those stickers and give the specific person, those stickers, which says a lot of the things that your colleagues appreciate about you. This has been a very amazing program that boosted the morale, and we can see on the numbers, we can see on the profit margins that it changed because the employees are happy to work and they are happy to contribute their knowledge to the business. We also came up with the program, which is the incentive program, whereby we appreciate the drivers that are doing well, and expanded to the warehousing, the employees that are working within the warehouse environment, to also appreciate them. We give them the prizes, we give them the certificate and the vouchers and the gift. As we progress to the next slide, I would like to share with you what is it that I love about the transport industry. Transport industry is broad. It is big. It contributes the most to the economy of the country. And like Violet said, I'm very, very inspired about your story, Violet, as I see you expanded to the public sector and also to also the private sector, the freight as well. So transportation is very big and it contributes to the industrial development. What I also like about working for Unitrans now, it's got a very positive culture. And that, as I mentioned, the people's culture, whereby at Unitrans, all the employees are seen, heard, appreciated, and understood. This is a very important culture for me, and I am living it in my leadership journey. And then the opportunities to learn and develop in the workplace. Within Unitrans, I've obtained 2 qualifications with Menkosa, and also this year I've obtained another qualification with GEBS. Then what I also like are the chances that have been made available for women to grow within the industry, because the women are very powerful and they are able to contribute to the industry to the best. And then the advice that I can give to women who want to join the industry, it is so important to live a purpose-driven life, to have a goal and know where you are going, and then have the confidence in your own abilities, because it is a tough industry. As a woman, there is a lot that is expected from you, but when you have confidence in your ability, it's very important also to learn new things and come out of your comfort zone, stretch yourself and take advantage of every opportunity that presents itself in you. No matter how high you are placed in your industry or how educated you are, it's always important to remain humble. I'm also a Christian, so I've learned and I was raised that when you humble yourself, God will lift you up. And something that I also want to share is that in my the graduation, the program that I was under, I've got the chance to visit the Europe in Spain to get the global exposure of the supply chain. It has been an amazing journey with Unitrans. So as a woman, it's very important to reach out and also be open to learn new things and also to stay true to who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, where decisions are made, women have to be there. Thank you. I will hand over to my colleague, Kundani.
Thank you very much, Nukanya. What I picked up from your presentation is that women, we must be eager to self-improvement, because the world that we operate in requires us to be on top of our game each and every time. We are only as good as our last performance. And it's key that we follow your direction where self-improvement has given you the opportunities. You truly said that we must have a mission and purpose, but also with that mission and purpose, it's linked to passion. you come out across as somebody that really loves and enjoy what they are doing. And for me, it reaffirms that as women, we choose careers that are enjoyable for us. We should create opportunities for ourselves. Do not wait for an invitation. Invite yourself. If there's no seat on the table, bring the camping chair and bring that seat for yourself. And to go to the next speaker, Kundani, if I can go through your profile. She is a business development solution analyst. Solution-driven individual. She's an analyst, a professional at Unitrans Supply Chain Solution. She is a leading provider of integrated transportation and warehouses. Innovation, solving complex issues, and continuous learning is what drives her. Previously, she worked as a lean trainee for Transnet, which helped me gain a lot of insight within the corporate world and in my infant stages of work. I then joined Unitrans in 2017 as a graduate, then a trainee analyst, to then the BDSA. She's an industrial engineer from the University of Johannesburg, and she holds an ILDP PDBA degree from Gibbs. Now, we hold so many positions, and I suppose that these are some of the few that you have listed, but please take it away, Queen.
Thank you so much. I'm Kundani Netavani, Kundani meaning conquer. I am from a rural village called Chikuwe in Venda in the Limpopo province. I'm 29 years old, and I'm an industrial engineer working as a solution analyst at Unitrans Supply Chain Solutions. So how I joined into the industry was through a graduate program at Unitrans in 2017. So during the graduate program, we had a very well-structured program, and during the induction week, we had different department managers that were invited, who then took us through all the departments within Unitrans. So this provided more insight of how different departments function and are linked together. So mentors and coaches were also assigned to each and every graduate for guidance, which really helped me because it created a more clear understanding throughout my journey. Going into the next slide, I'll be taking you through some of the highlights of my career. There were a lot, but I just chose 3. So the first one was the driver incentive initiative that Nogukanya Mtembu, the previous speaker, and I collaborated in order to implement this initiative. We wanted to do this in order to increase efficiency within the Johannesburg distribution center and also improve the staff morale. Through this program, the department has been able to improve its financial performance due to motivated drivers who go beyond their call of duty. We have further expanded into the warehousing, as Nogukanya said, and also to the staff within our offices. And this has yielded great results. And then the second one, it was meeting exceptional women queens throughout my career journey at Unitrans. I have a lot of them that I met, but I'll just mention a few. So when I joined the graduate program in 2017, I met Melanie Naidu Padayagi, who was head of HRD, who provided a lot of guidance to the graduates. She was our mom, and she still is, including myself, on how to function within the company. And after the graduate development program, I was then placed in a department that was led by Kali Fenter, who led with so much humility, yet so assertive. As part of my career progression, I then moved to the petroleum department, where I met Nogukanya Mtembu. Together, we discovered the power of collaboration. This was the most important thing that I discovered, that 2 is better than 1. That taught me that it is important to work together as a team and leverage it on each other's strength. So meeting all these women taught me that as a leader, you can be very effective while staying true to yourself as a woman. And last but definitely not least, on the left, you will see that I was in Thailand. So that was the biggest highlight of my career. So I was nominated within the company to be part of the International Leadership Program that is offered by GIBS. So I learned a lot about the pillars that support the management of the business, like, for example, economics and accounting, those things that I didn't get to do as an engineer. So one subject that resonates with me is information knowledge management that we did during the program. So it supports the power and the sharing of knowledge. So what we further implemented with Nokukanya, like I said, we collaborate a lot within our department. So we've further implemented a shared drive wherein we share our knowledge in order to eliminate key man dependency. So that has really encouraged and improved the culture of sharing within our department. And as part of the program, I got to travel to Thailand to get an Asian view of the logistics of goods and people, and then things that can be implemented to improve South Africa. And my learnings from that was that the grass is not always greener on the other side. There are things that Asians can learn from us and vice versa. And additionally, as part of the program in September, I'll be traveling to France to also get a European view of how they do their logistics and what we can improve in South Africa. And moving on to the next slide, what I love about my industry is a lot, but just to name a few, it's growth. So the Kundani that joined Unitrans in 2017 and the Kundani now, it's two different people. So there's been a lot of progression within my career in the industry. So I came in as a graduate, and now you can give me a logistics operation and I'll be able to analyze its key drivers and also see what makes it run and also recommend improvements within the industry. And also exposure to different industries. Through being a third-party logistics provider, we deal with Total and petrochemicals, and we also deal with Dulux and paint. So different clients come with different requirements, which can be very challenging. But as a third-party logistics provider, you need to ensure that the customer needs are met while also remaining profitable. So that's where innovation comes in and continuous improvement. And last, on what I love about my industry is that the transport industry is here to stay. As Violet said, that she wants to then venture into the air industry, it shows how vast the logistic industry is. So with the new world of work, that includes fourth industrial revolution and also the internet of things, eventually we'll have to move from electric or gas vehicles to then automated vehicles. We'll then move from diesel to then electric vehicles. And then from in the normal warehouses, we'll then have to move from normal warehouses to fully automated warehouses. But the transport industry will stay. And then the advice that I can give to women who wants to join the logistic industry is that go for it. The sky is the limit. And you need to ensure that you have a can-do spirit, which is the willingness to tackle a job and get it done. There's a quote by Nelson Mandela that says, "A winner is a dreamer who doesn't give up." In order to win, you need to keep dreaming and work hard towards that dream. And last but not least, you need to be willing to learn, being open to new experiences, skills, and data that will help improve your ability. Whether explicit knowledge or implicit knowledge, have the courage to be challenged. This will ensure growth. Thank you so much. I'll hand over to Leanne.
Leanne, before my queen, Leanne, before you come on, Kundani, I have goosebumps, and because you talk about collaboration, females are well known to collaborate, but izandla ziyagezana. We support each other, even though other people may think that we don't. But what keeps us sane as females is when we support each other. We form strong relationships. Relationships for us are quite key in achieving what we do for the greater good. And to do what you are doing, I truly believe that as a woman, you must yourself internally believe that you can succeed. I hope that you did some shopping in Thailand. I hope that now having to go to Europe, you truly appreciate the company that you're working for, because it's few companies that actually invest in their employees. This is not just an opportunity, but it shows that the company, Unitrans, it invests in their employees so that to carry on the baton, so that they are not selfish in empowering or making opportunities available for brilliant, intelligent queens like you. Thank you. Moving on to Queen Leanne. Queen Leanne, she is a head of centralized operational control. Here, control. She keeps things under control. Women are known to have emotional intelligence. She is the operational control of Unitrans supply chain solutions. Her role includes entails managing one of 9 pillars under Innovative Operational Excellence Division. She manages a central control tower consisting of a team of 40 responsible for managing the safety of Unitrans drivers. She also, in her role, success in her role is due to the passion towards driver safety, her dedication to driving policies and processes, and here due to devotion to providing a high-level service to business. Leanne has been a key member of the Innovative Operational Excellence team for the past 6 years. In that period, she has successfully elevated herself up the organizational hierarchy, progressing from supervisor level to her current role. Leanne previously worked in retail operations for 18 years, 11 of which were in management roles, which she displays an equal passion for driving procedure and processes. She empowering the development of employees as well as a high standard of customer service. She is currently one of the 15 women in transport selected for the Tita IEDP W for 2022. The Tita International Executive Leadership Development Program. This phenomenal program aims to empower women in the industry for personal and professional development. And I truly hope that you pass on the baton you in this space. Queen, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Queen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thankful and honored to be a part of this awesome event. My name is Leanne Saunders. I was born in KwaZulu-Natal in Durban as one of the last born of 7 children, one of which being, I come from a set of twins. Although I've not had many opportunities after my schooling and was not able to study, further my studies after schooling, I did not allow this to influence my ability to learn and grow my skills and knowledge and learning. I started off this journey in the transport sector with Unitrans Supply Chain Solutions in 2016, and as you mentioned, in the role of supervisor of the Unitrans Control Tower, progressing to my current role as head of centralized operation control within the Innovative Operational Excellence Division. It's been 6 years and it's been an amazing journey. So I joined the Unitrans Control Tower and was absolutely inspired by the concept and vision of Unitrans, which was ensuring their driver safety is a #1 priority. And this was done through compliance and ensuring that we provide a service of excellence. My strategy upon entering the transport industry, coming out of retail operations, it was chalk and cheese. So what I chose to do was I immersed myself in understanding transport and the supply chain and using my passion for people, adding value and making a difference in everything that I do. The Unitrans Control Tower concept is one that was started in a place of passion, the passion for our people and our brand that really did steal my heart. Through my journey as a supervisor, I had the opportunity to showcase my management and organizational skills from my experience in operations. And I didn't know much about transport, but I did immerse myself in the knowledge of what I was doing every single day, and that every day was a day of learning for me. I fulfilled the role as supervisor for a period of 18 months, after which I was afforded the huge opportunity of being promoted to the operations manager role in the Unitrans Control Tower. I found myself extremely challenged, but fortunately for me, perseverance is one of my strengths, and I focused all of my energy and the many years of experience in operations, partnered with my knowledge of transport, and more importantly, managing people. I focused all of this knowledge that I'd gained as a supervisor, as well as my commitment, and I took it and I invested in a 24/7 dedication to ensuring that everything I did was for the greater good, for the value of our drivers across our Unitrans fleet. I excelled in my role as operations manager of the Unitrans Control Tower, and I fulfilled that role for approximately 2 years, and then had the opportunity of joining the Innovative Operational Excellence team as a captain, reporting directly to Jacques Krief, who's Chief Operational Excellence Officer, who coincidentally was the leader that had not only inspired me, but had also mentored me through my employment within Unitrans. He joined the business and was an absolute breath of fresh air. He led with a passion for people like I had never seen, and another passion for excellence. And with his wealth of experience in the transport industry, Jacques' leadership, and the purpose and vision of the Unitrans supply chain solutions, I was able to take the learning and mentorship and use it to evolve into a new strategic role, which was a very new role for me, coming out of so many years of operations. However, I was blessed and fortunate in that I had a leadership that really valued every member of their team's contribution, as well as being a part of an organization that had a shared vision. In 2022, I was nominated and selected to join the Tita IDP for Women program. This program allowed me the opportunity to fill 2 of my life streams. One, to have the opportunity to further my studies, and the other was an opportunity to travel abroad. Tita didn't only give me the opportunity to further my studies, it also gave me the opportunity to develop and empower my leadership as a woman. The Tita program has given me the opportunity to meet some of the most phenomenal women in transport. I'm one of 15 women that was selected to join this program, and it has been an absolutely amazing experience getting to know people, sharing your vision with them, sharing their journeys and your journey, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable in a very safe space, and understanding that we have all faced challenges, but it's all about how we rise above those challenges that really matter. The IDP program challenged me in many, many ways. I had not had exposure to a tertiary education, and I was forced to push myself to the max and dig really deep. I had to dig to a depth that I didn't even know I had, which was absolutely worth it. When I look back on the journey, I know that it has given me the opportunity to excel in something that I never thought I had the capability to do. Part of this journey has been a lot of learning that I had not even, there was no way for me to anticipate it. But the greatest learning was getting to know my own limitations. The bonus of all of this journey, the learning, the challenges, through this experience, I've had the privilege of working with a team of 14 trailblazers, women in transport that just never give up. As a woman, we know we have amazing strengths, and that we know that we're capable of doing anything we put our minds to. it really has been amazing to reach these new heights with phenomenal trailblazers and 100% support and commitment of Tita, an absolute powerhouse in the transport industry. We were afforded the opportunity of our global immersion into the program. We were allowed to visit Island Dublin, and we were exposed to a transport infrastructure that really works well. I must say, representing Unitrans Supply Chain Solutions in this experience, I really felt I was at an advantage on the basis that I felt that we were really on track when it came to innovation and technological advancements. In Dublin, we were exposed to technologies that really were something else. Like you couldn't open your mind to it because we know what we do, we know what we're exposed to, but Dublin showed us a different side of it. One of the big takeaways from Dublin for me was seeing the great synergy within the transport ecosystem that worked very well by my views. However, I also realized at the end of the journey was that they were obviously not where they hoped to be. And all that told me is that as long as you have a vision and you have a commitment of stakeholders, we can reach all of those goals that we aim for. Through the global immersion in Dublin, many of us came out of the journey having been inspired by many of the things that we'd seen. A lot of the synergies between the public and private sectors were big influences. Every step of this journey has been a great experience. It was phenomenal to see the synergies and how it can work for you as an organization. And I think one of the greatest realizations for me was that I knew that as Unitrans, we were heading in the right direction. We were on track and we just needed to continue pursuing our dream for excellence. I feel that, I feel that every step of this journey has been an absolute blessing. Having come from many years of having to work and fight for your voice to be heard, I really felt like every single step of this journey has elevated me. The leader that I am today is very different from the leader that I was when I joined the Unitrans Supply Chain Solution. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. Also part of this journey, we are embarking on another global immersion into Singapore in the next 2 weeks. And I'm so excited to see what learnings we can gain from the experience in Singapore, seeing how they do things differently, and also teaching them how we do things here in South Africa. I'm looking forward to the learning that we're going to gain in Singapore. I'm looking forward to coming back and sharing the experience with my team. And I'm also looking forward to closing off this amazing journey on the Tita program, which we'll be doing later this year. My inspiration and my motivation to women joining the sector. If I can tell you to continue being the woman that you are. As a woman in logistics, I can tell you, you have all the power to make your mark in this industry, and be willing to raise your hand, to learn new skills, have the courage to be challenged. Definitely ensuring that you will grow from those challenges. Be open to feedback, use it in a constructive way, and take the opportunity to learn from the feedback. Logistics is a sector that's evolving, and there's equal opportunity for men and women. Some of the things I love about this industry is that we play a critical role in the supply chain ecosystem, that as transporters, we are evolving in technological advancements, and the transport industry is impactful and it's purpose-driven. Knowing that as a transporter, you play a role that is vital to your organization, and it's the best take home at the end of every day. I thank you all for your time and for listening, and I'd like to hand over now to our Queen Melanie Naidu Padayagi.
Good morning, Queen Melanie.
Morning,
I heard somebody referring to you as mom, and I wish to share the frustration that I am also called mom where I am because of being funded by Tita as well, the internship. I create an environment that is women conducive, so that when your child is sick, you don't, it's not leave. Our kids don't put in an application that I am going to get sick. And I suppose one of our role as women leaders is to recognize where the status quo is and improve on the status quo, that as fearless women that we are, we change things in our working space. And I mean, the willingness to take risks, the courage, and the tapping from the power from within, but the power from within is also from the outside, from the women that we interact with. But please, Mom, take it away. I've already read your bio earlier on. Thank you.
Marcella, thank you so much for that insight and for welcoming me to this amazing platform. As said, my name is Melanie Naidu, and I think it's indeed a privilege to be surrounded by incredible, brilliant, powerful women. And I think I want to use this opportunity just for all our audience, use your reactions, and let's give these amazing women just an applause for their contribution. I'm sitting here and I'm so inspired and motivated to do more and give more as we move forward. So I'm going to take a cue from Queen Marcella and say I'm the CEO of my household with a magnificent husband, 3 daughters that keep me challenged. I'm passionate about logistics as the daughter of a trucking business owner, and I totally enjoy challenging the status quo and breaking barriers. I was the first female of color in the history of Unitrans to join Exco, and I was joined after by Carly and another 3 phenomenal ladies in the past few years. And with the analogy of mom, I've always referred to HRD as home to some of our people in Unitrans, because just like we all sometimes return home to mom and we go around the kitchen table to be fueled, together with my amazing team, we kind of play that purpose in Unitrans. We want our employees to come to us, be fueled, inspired, learn, grow, and then they go out and leave home to achieve and establish their purpose in life. So for today, I thought of looking at what can I say around, just not about the programs, because I think the proof is in the pudding. You've heard from some of the amazing women in our business today, and that is really where the victory is, in seeing the benefit that comes through our organization and in their stories. So I wanted to look at how do we actually integrate programs into our business in a way that makes it sustainable and it can improve adoption and success. So I've just got 3 points here. And the first is the culture. You've heard a lot about our culture, about being seen, heard, appreciated, and understood. But that starts at the top. I think culture and the message and how we want to stand, that starts at the top. And we have tremendous buy-in from our top management to make sure that we establish certain rules around what we want to be as a business. So culture is important, and that comes into, what kind of business do we want? We want a business that represents all demographics, all races, and that has become part of our strategic capability. The other is we want a supportive culture. And support means we need to be cognizant of the challenges. It's not easy bringing women into a male-dominated environment. So we need to be aware of these challenges and put into process and policies in place that can help support women, like sexual harassment, and awareness of understanding what are the challenges and how can we do this better? How can we support women through maternity leave and have them integrated back into the workforce? All these issues need to come up and be spoken about. The next pillar I've put up here is communication, and communication comes in a few forms. The one is engagement. We are committed to sort of measuring our culture through an annual survey, and that really gives us a lot of analytics around how is our business doing. And like Kali said earlier, there's so much more to be done. And I just want to acknowledge these are some of the things we're doing, but we're so far from being where we should. But it's a journey and we're trying our best. And when we look at the culture survey, we look specifically at what challenges or what are the ratings of females versus males, and then race, how does that play, and how do we then create those opportunities for conversation and improvement, so we're targeting the right areas to increase diversity in our business. The other is awareness, and I think this is just motivating, creating a psychologically safe business that allows people, not just women, but all of our employees to speak up. If you're not happy about something, or something's not the way it seems, or it's not aligned to our leadership philosophy, we want you to be able to come forward and tell us what's going on, what are we doing wrong, so that we can drive awareness in the business and create change by doing that. The last pillar that I put up here is capabilities. And capabilities is really what drives how we select our programs. So yeah, it's understanding the business need. What is the skills and the sets that's the needs in our business, current and future? And then how do we present a business case around the program to obtain buy-in? Because we are running businesses at the end of the day. We need to be able to talk business and be able to get the buy-in and explain exactly how this is going to create return of investment to us. Some of the other things we've done is, often when we look at our programs, we run a pilot to test things out. We run analysis around that to see, what is the benefits. One of the most recent things we've done, we've partnered with our operational excellence team, with Leanne and her team, and we've measured as part of our most recent professional driver program, which had 75% females, what are their driving risks compared to similar males in the business? And the stats have just totally blown out the stereotype that women aren't that great drivers, because they actually are less riskier. And using data in that way has helped us to change the mindsets and just advocate for more programs and more support as we go along. So you see here, we've put in a list of some of the programs that we have. And you'll notice there's just one that says Women in Business, because that was a special event that we supported with the training provider. But for the rest of it, we really use research that's out in the industry, learning methodologies. And one of the things I found in one of my thesis studies was that when we create learning programs, we must try and balance the classroom in terms of having views of both men and women, because it sometimes sets women up for a disadvantage if they're coming from a purely female group and then you're bringing them into an organization that is male dominated. So where we have newcomers through our learnerships, we try to always increase the female participation close to 2/3 of the classroom, so that we also get perspectives from both sides and we have those important conversations that help with change and understanding in our business. Just looking at some of this, we also try and incorporate future skills into our programs where possible. You've heard some of our team that have shared on their journeys through training and programs that we've had, and based on our methodologies and things that we've used, we've won awards for our graduate program and most recently for our bespoke driver training curriculum. I just want to take a moment right here to recognize these amazing stories you've been hearing about our people going to this country and learning so much is really based on our partnership with Tita and the leadership programs that they host and run every year almost. And we've been just grateful to have suggested or nominated our women, and it's amazing to know that they are hitting the benchmark and are able to make a difference in our organization. So I saw Dikaledi on the chat a bit earlier. So yes, she's part of the Tita group, and I'm sure you can reach out to her to get to know more about what Tita is doing in our industry. Some advice as I close off on my side is, and you've heard it throughout the presentations, is staying true to your purpose. But for me here, it's more about, if you're true to your purpose, it makes it much easier to make decisions, because sometimes as you progress in your career, you can get situations where decisions might not align to your values and your purpose. And it's always good to know where you are so that those decisions become easier. The other side of that is your femininity is your stronghold. And I know sometimes in male-dominated environments, we feel the need to shed that. And I think if you can see around the room, amazing, beautiful women that hone on their power of being who they are. And that's really important. The other layer to that is just that knowing that if you know your purpose, you know that you deserve respect. And it's very critical to know about the stereotypes around women so that you don't fall prey to that. So knowing that it's not your job as a woman to fetch tea. As a leader, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm saying when you're in environments where women are praised for doing certain things, and you need to be cognizant. You shouldn't be the one always taking minutes in a group of males, for instance. We need to share this. We all have talents and abilities. There's no such thing as women are only good at one thing. The other is a growth mindset, and this is just the humility to keep learning and growing. I know I have bias in saying that, being the head on people development, but really I think it's the key to life, and especially if we look at the VUCA world we're in and the transition into 4-hour to 5-hour, this is really key in keeping relevant and staying connected to our industry and being able to create a change. The next one I've got, there's advocacy is a privilege. And I think if we're aware of where the world is, it is a privilege to be able to just speak on this webinar, to have the rights to vote. And this is all because of the women that have come before us. So it's not okay to, just accept certain stereotypes and certain barriers that are there. We need to do our parts. We need to raise our voices. We need to create this because there's a systemic issues at play. When we create more opportunity for employment economics, we help women, we help create equality, we help women break free from abuse, from lots of the history that comes with inequality around women. So this sort of privilege is one not to be taken lightly. And we see around the world that we still have major challenges where women aren't allowed to drive or aren't allowed access to education. So we're privileged to be in South Africa and be able to have this. And the last one is definitely one of the most important is there's humility and there's an accountability to being in your position. You need to rise up to lift up. And that's something I totally believe in. You want to leave a legacy that furthers through in other people that you have in the business. I'm happy to connect on LinkedIn and be able to share or look at opportunities. If you'd like to learn more, I know Kali will tell you more about how you can get into contact with us. But to end off our set, we've got a couple of short videos from our core of our business, and that's our female truck drivers. They are really the people that are on the roads doing the best that they possibly can for our business. And I'm just in awe when I see them in these big millions rand rigs that they are pulling. So I'm gonna go over to the first video of Cynthia Thala. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Hello, everybody. This is Cynthia Thala. I work at Unitrans as a bulk vehicle operator. And basically, this is what I do. I load petrol, I offload it, I go to various customers every day, and I love what I'm doing. I've been with Unitrans for more than 3 years, and I enjoy everything about Unitrans. Words of wisdom, sky's the limit. This is the main dominated area, so women need not to be scared.
Hi, my name is Emily Lidwava. I'm a BVO at Unitrans Petroleum Company at Alroot. We're based on delivering fuel. So yeah, I love my job very much. I'm a lady, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother. So I just want to encourage other ladies that they must come, they mustn't be afraid, they must come and work with us at Unitrans. So we groom ourselves, our company, we have good training, so they can come. I'm very glad to work with Unitrans. Thanks a lot.
Hi, my name is Mavis. I'm a truck driver at Unitrans Supply Train. It's a train at Unitrans Alroad at Petroleum Department. I love what I'm doing very, very much. I'm a crazy woman. And I just want to thank Unitrans for giving us this opportunity as female truck drivers. And I just want to encourage other female ladies outside that they must come and join us, and looking forward for more female drivers. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Priti Fabote. I'm working to Unitrans Chain Supply. I'm a female driver, I'm a BVO. I love my job. I thank Unitrans to give me a chance to do this job. It's an amazing job. And remember, if you do this job, you must love it. And I wish any woman can see this opportunity, and you must take it serious, because it's working and it's easy. It's not the job was choosing, maybe the men only. No, everyone must do it, that job. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Kabang Magoeva. I'm a BVO in Unitrans Chain Supply. I'm based in Alroad. I like being a driver. I'm passionate. To be a driver, you must have a passion and love your job. And I encourage all the ladies, don't be afraid. You are welcome to come in Unitrans, in our family. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Teresa, working for Unitrans at Alroad. I'm a BVO, and I love my job of being a driver as a female. And I would like to introduce other women, females, so that they can come. There's nothing hard. I'm driving long trucks, long base, double cab. I encourage all women.
Harry, thank you so much. I think you've heard from a lot of the women in our business, and we really wanted to share all of those stories. Kyle will share in the chat just how you can contact us, but for any ladies that want to become a part of our family, please go to our website. We have our careers page there where you can apply for vacancies, and we also have a contact form there where you can just send us some messages or comments or feedback if you just want to get in touch. And just to sort of sum it all up, I think the one thing that all of these ladies have in common is the courage to stand up and be counted and be heard and to take on those challenges head on. And so I want to leave off and ask everybody, the ladies out there, to think, if you weren't afraid, what would you go out and do? And then to go out and do it. And with that, we'll close off. Thank you so, Harry, for the opportunity and privilege to be here today.
Thank you so much. I think Unitrans is a special company, and I think anyone that works at your company is privileged. And I liked what staying true to your purpose. It's, if you stay true to your purpose, it's your job does not feel like a job. It's easy to do. And with the women that came on the video, they said something that it was almost rehearsed, but not rehearsed, that I love what I do. You can pick it up in their voice. You can, the lady that was wearing glasses, the other lady that says, I'm a grandmother. Can you imagine having such a female as a leader in your household? The sky is the limit or not the limit, but your path is being cleared by the women today as a child within that family or within this particular organization. What Unitrans has not declared is that they are saving money on insurance because of the women drivers, as there are less risk. I think that we need to acknowledge that the less risk that you bring to the company adds to the bottom line of the company. I too, I am a better driver than somebody that shall remain nameless. And you talked something lastly about something that is very important. In my organization, in my office, no one, absolutely no one, makes tea for any visitor. I have mostly female employees, and I teach my female employees that do not make anyone tea. They have hands, those are not ribbons. And this is such a powerful thing to learn, that you don't downgrade yourself, but you keep up the standards that we have set for ourselves. I think now, Harry, you can take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michela, also for the great work you're doing and leading us today. We really appreciate it. And ladies and gents, I know that we're running a little bit over our time, but the content we are sharing is so important and great today that I think you will forgive us for running a little bit over our program. We're going to do the exciting little competition now. 4 people are going to be able to win prizes now. And we said to you before, you must listen carefully when we shared about our alliances and our sponsoring companies. And we're going to ask now questions, and the winner can win the power bank and the little lantern, which will be couriered to you. So after the event, we will approach you to get the delivery address. So we're going to ask a question, and then the first person answering the question correctly in the chat room, and it's obviously only for locals, that person is then the winner. And to give you a clue, the answers are all coming from presenting companies in today's event. So the first question then, let's see who answers this one correct. I'm looking for the name of the organization. They say, and they are a leading provider of integrated transportation, warehousing, and supply chain based services. Who is that? There we go, Thomas, you're a winner there. Congratulations. That was quite quick, Thomas. All right, so let's ask the next question. This company, they're saying they're developing skills for the supply chain. They've got internationally accredited courses. There we go, Bisco, and let me just see, it was Egidius, I think it was the first one, Egidius. Right, congratulations, Egidius, and just making a note here. All right, thank you for that. Right, the next company, they offer customs connect and consulting services. The CEO is also presenting today. Well done. GTS, you're correct. Let me see, was that Angela? Angela, correct. Congratulations. You've won that prize. All right, and then the last question. This company, who is this? They say, and they do, deliver software solutions for customs clearing, freight forwarding, and logistic providers covering air, sea, road, and rail. You are that. Not yet. There we go. So Sayala is easy clear. Congratulations. Sayala, let me just make a note here. This one. So we've got 4 winners. Congratulations. And so we will contact you and we will get your prizes couriered to you. Ladies and gents, let's take a short 5 minutes body break, and then we'll be back and we'll have our next presenter now doing our presentation. So thank you very much. 5 minutes break. All right, colleagues, thank you. We're back again and we're going to continue the event. So over to our MC, Marcella. Thank you, Marcella.
Thank you for the comfort break, Harry. The next queen on our program is Jonah Mcdonald. And in the interest of time, Shona, I would like you to do a little bit of introduction of yourself and go into your presentation. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for hosting me. I'm just going to share my presentation. Can you see that?
Yes, we can. Just in slide view.
And now?
We're still waiting. Just give it a few seconds.
Going to F5.
Let me just try that once more time. And now?
Perfect.
Good.
Fantastic.
Good. Morning, everybody. Lovely to join you. And it's very inspiring to have heard the other speakers. I bring, unfortunately, a very different perspective to transport. It's not your average type of transport, but it was motivated by my own experiences with having one of my daughters born with severe disabilities and being told at the time to put her in a home and have another child because people didn't believe, the medical profession didn't believe it was worth investing in her. And this set me on a long journey to find solutions for her that would really change not just the course of her life, but also then really help us help many, many more other people. So Shonequip is a hybrid social enterprise which started in my garage in 1992. We are now employing over 80 people. We're a B level 1 and 2 hybrid social enterprise. That means we are a company, but we are also a not-for-profit company, and we are also a trust. So we have 3 entities that work together to do this work. We have a footprint across South Africa in all 9 provinces, and we provide outreach services into Mozambique, Botswana, Namibia, Eswatini, Lesotho, Swaziland, and over the last few years have been exporting into Iraq, Georgia, a little bit into India now, and with partners in Uganda. As I mentioned, we work with over 20,000 direct beneficiaries a year, and we've managed to register our company with SAPRA. We have secured our FDA registration and very proudly the only wheelchair manufacturer in Africa with ISO 13485. We also have 25% of our staff have disabilities themselves. And it's through this work that I've really grown to realize that with an appropriate assistive device and the knowledge to make informed choices, and particularly for women, the agency to action this information, a family of a child with a disability never needs to experience their child as less valued as I did. So this is an example of one of the chairs we've built, we build, and a little child actually in Eswatini, who for the first time in his life was able to get off the floor of his hut and move outside and see where he lived. So 15% of the world's population has a disability. That's 1.2 billion people, the largest minority in the world. 70 million require appropriate wheelchairs, and 9 million of those people live in high-income countries. That means that 90% of people living in high-income countries actually have the correct device. But in low-income middle countries, like South Africa and our surrounding neighbors, nearly 60 million people need wheelchairs, and only 5% get the device they need. The other shocking statistic is that 30 million wheelchairs need to be produced every year to address this deficit. But globally, only 3 million wheelchairs are produced annually. This is really a shocking statistic, especially when you bear in mind that appropriate assistive technology, just a wheelchair, is a basic human right. So in South Africa, nearly 700 children need a wheelchair right now, today, in order to function. And yet the wait lists are between 1 and 6 years. And for that reason, the majority of mothers who have children with disabilities are out of work. They're forced to stay at home and look after their child that cannot sit upright, has no equipment, and cannot therefore enter school, and will develop secondary health complications just because they have to lie down. With an appropriate wheelchair, though, you can change that child's life, because without it, they develop severe secondary health complications and deformities. With the right device, and you'll see in the picture here, a child on the left has the wrong equipment, but with the right equipment, they become included in their whole family and are able to get out of the house and go to school. So I've worked closely with WHO over the last 15 years to establish wheelchair guidelines globally distributed now to all governments that really support and government health departments in designing policy to ensure that wheelchairs are appropriate and ensure that government and government services and policy support the needs of wheelchair users. Wheelchairs need to meet the needs of the environmental conditions in which they're used. In other words, they have to be used in different environments in different countries. They need to fit properly, they need to be safe, and they need to be available and accessible to people who need to use them at an affordable price. So a wheelchair is one of the most commonly used assistive devices for enhancing personal mobility, which is the obvious link to living and enjoying one's own human rights and dignity. The correct wheelchair assists people with disabilities to become productive members of their community. And for many people, an appropriate wheelchair, and which is well designed and well fitted, will be the first step to be inclusion. And here you'll see some children just leaving one of our seating clinics and heading back to their preschool, where they're going to be starting to learn to play and be included and start the road towards future employment. So this is just an example of one of my team fitting a child in a wheelchair at one of our outreach clinics. And I think what's really important to know here that wheelchairs are a basic human right. And many, many companies have an obligation through the Employment Equity Act and through the Constitution to employ people with disabilities. And here one of my team is doing an on-site accessibility audit, and he will then write a report and send it to the corporate so that they can ensure that their facilities become fully accessible. But why is this still not happening? We've got all these policies, we know what's working, we know what doesn't work, but it's not happening. And this is based on history of charity and pity. Inappropriate wheelchairs like the ones on the left, in other words, standard fold-up emergency transporter chairs, are often provided as a solution to people. And obviously with this type of chair and a different type of disability, you're unable to access work. You're also unable to use this type of chair on rough grounds. And these inferior equipments are seen historically as good enough for low-income countries, and they've become accepted as the norm. There is a shortage of skilled and trained people. There are no wait lists nationally that really define what people actually need, and no accessible transport. It's the access, once you have your device, to actually use the transport to get to where you need to go. It's limiting, and it's it's causing the barriers that people experience, not only to get into the school system, but to get to hospitals, to get to clinics and get to work. So we put in place a process 2 years ago during lockdown to help parents understand what the barriers were they were experiencing, to report these, and to gather this data together to be able to inform better practice for government policy making and the transport industry. We developed an app together with partners. We've brought parents together. At the moment, there are over 1,000 parents across the country using this app to report the barriers they experience on a day-to-day basis. They're monitoring the white paper on the rights of persons with disabilities, and we then are using that data to report back and publish the barriers that they're experiencing. The app looks a bit like this, where they click on the barrier that they want to report on, and then they mention it and send the information through using Google Cloud. The findings from this are that the pillars, we're measuring all the pillars, that's the picture on the left, but the one specifically I'm talking about today is the one about access, and you'll see here that almost half of the parents that we're working with are finding that access to public roads, pavements, and transport is a significant barrier to their being able to function. The second big barrier is the fact they can't get access to the equipment they need. The data we collect is reported in quite detail. So here you'll see on one of these reports that parents can't access the school. On another one, it's the pavements and the walkways are a barrier, and they cannot access that safely. A big one that we're struggling with still at the moment is the taxis will not stop and help people load their child or their chair and their child onto the taxis. And it's the same story that we're getting from adults who are needing to come to work. One of our staff that we've just taken on now through a learnership with FNB, he's having to pay his neighbor to drive him to work every morning because he cannot use any public transport. This is costing him the entire stipend that he gets for the learnership. So parents are reporting not only data, but also writing messages in all the training that we hold every week. And here's a message from this mom who says, "Hi, friends. Today we spent 1 hour on the road waiting for the taxi with my daughter. And she just couldn't get there. They wouldn't stop for her." So the result is parents feel disrespected. They feel unworthy. And it reinforces this disenfranchisement that disability has. People think that being disabled is a negative thing, whereas actually having a disability, if the system worked, would really not be as big a barrier as we expect it to be. So Shonequip and our business really focuses on how do we solve some of these problems, because we all know the problems are there, we're dealing with them every day, but we need to fix them. So how are we innovating around these challenges? One of the products we're busy developing now is a hand cycle wheelchair in partnership with 2 other innovators in the Free State. And this chair is now in its prototyping stage. It means that you can drive for very long periods of time over rough ground in order to get to work effectively and fast. Another product that we're busy looking at getting now into the market deals with the challenges of mobility of persons with mobility impairments living in really rural and remote areas where if there's a health problem, you often have to be carried in a blanket along inaccessible paths or pushed in a wheelbarrow. And this is not only dangerous and uncomfortable, but it's really undignified. And to solve this problem, we've innovated a transporter chair, which is now prototyped and trialed and tested in many different circumstances. And we're busy searching actively now for a proof of concept partner to roll these out into a few rural communities, not only to promote micro enterprise opportunities where people can actually be paid to transport local people from their homes to the road or to the clinic or to the school, but also to ensure that old people, sick people, and particularly during COVID now, people who are in desperate need of medical aid could get to the help they need. So this chair folds flat, it can hook onto the back of a taxi, it can go into the back of a bakkie. It's a really lightweight product that can be carried by 2 people or be pushed on a cattle path, which is a very narrow path using the 2 small wheels. The third innovation that we're busy with right now came about with another unusual type of road user. I went zipping around a corner in my car and almost knocked this gentleman over because he was in the middle of the road pushing his income generating opportunity, which was a trolley. And I stopped to talk to him and apologized for nearly knocking him over. And in that conversation, we got talking about why he had chosen that specific Woolworths trolley and not a Pick n Pay or a Spar one. And the whole story came out around the wear and tear of casters on the road and how he used his trolley to support his entire family with recycling. The end result of that was the design of a trolley which was stable, could be pushed on uneven roads and also on pavements and other areas where the trolleypreneurs or wastepreneurs were going to be working or are working. And through this work, we've now rolled out 270 of these trolleys through the Department of Economic and Environmental Affairs here in the Western Cape and created nearly 300 sustainable jobs. So these people will work on the road and their product they use on the road should be safe. It shouldn't be a hazard to other road users or to people working on the pavements. And the fourth and final innovation that we're busy with this year is a vehicle positioner. So many children have to be transported back and forward to school using public transport because the wheelchairs can't fit in the car or in the buses and the school vans. And so we've designed a vehicle positioner so that these children are safe while they're being transported. They don't fall over. If there's an accident, they're not injured. And in doing this, we're not only ensuring safety of the passengers, but peace of mind of the driver. And I think, well, I'm certainly hoping that this type of transport or positioning seat will be put into most school buses now and transporting vehicles to be able to provide children with disabilities safe transport. So to wrap up, my work with World Health Organization and my position on the board of the International
Mother Teresa on the work that you have done